It would be greatly appreciated at the announcer stand if they would bring the list of the parade entrants. Tim Melberg, where are you at? I think you've got him. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're starting this Raymond Centennial off with a bang as the Raymond Color Legion, the American Legion, post the colors. Please stand and remove cover as the colors go by you. Pay respect to the American flag. John Hermo carrying the American flag. Oscar Winholm the Legion flag. Wing carriers are Bud Temple and Roger Hobart. This group is Robbie McGraw, Rick McGraw, Glenn Workentine, and I'm trying to think of Robbie's boy's first name. Chris McGraw. As all you people from Raymond know, Dean Beimers will not be walking. There we have Dean Beimers, Meryl Hobart, Mark Lewis, I believe.
David Lewis.
Darren Lewis. David Lewis, excuse me, and Harry Severson. There's a float from the Disabled American Veterans. Once again, Tim Melberg, if you have the book with all the parade entries in it, I know a lot of people in Raymond, but I don't know if I know all of them. Here's the parade marshals, Mavis Euchre and Delmer Foyles. Vehicle driven by Norb Rush, longtime Raymond resident and Raymond Red Wing. The 1939 Model A fire truck. That's the Dolan Fire Department. There's the Helping Hand Extension Club. Eleanor Melberg driving that. There's Ted and Mary Lou Melberg. Team Up Against Cancer. Clark County Cancer Society. Florence Hank riding in the back. Florence was one of our Centennial, or Squash Centennial committee members. Her and Don Rush. They spent a lot of extra hours and a lot of time. This looks like the Raymond 4-H Club. The Raymond 4-H Club. I think the one in the middle might be a little old for 4-H, but... Oh, pass, I see. Anybody knows Tim Melberg's cell phone number, I could sure use the... What you called him? The American Legion Auxiliary. Baker Unit 209. There's everybody and their dog loves Raymond. That was the Deal and Dusters Kennels with the dogs from McIntosh. Here's Francis Hass's 400 International, driven by Gail Philippek. Francis is the commissioner from this area, the Clark County Commissioner. Next is Terry Melberg, driving his car in original condition. He still drives out to town to eat dinner once in a while from the Raymond Bethlehem Lutheran Church. Here's Austin Reese, driving a 1956 International 450. It was restored by Austin and Gerald Melberg. Gerald Melberg, longtime mechanic over at Whitman International. He probably got a discount on his labor. Next is Carrie and Mackenzie Reese. They're Totally Tan tanning booth in Raymond. Started the business in 2005. Here's Carol Hurlbut driving a 1963 T-Bird. This is the class of 1938. Vince Canale, Elma Haas, and one-eyed Carol Erling. Vince Canale's 84 years old, and he's the only one planning for the 150-year reunion already. Now that's optimism. He's been spreading the BS for 123 years, and knowing that guy that's driving that pickup, they'll be spreading it a lot longer. That's Hurlbut Angus Farm. Jim and Rod Hurlbut. Next we have Anthony Bethke, driving a Cushman Traxxter. That's a 1971 Cushman Traxxter from Purity Seeds. He's followed by Gene Bethke in a 1920 Model T Speedster with the underslung axle. Same parts on the car originally came from the Kitzman Garage in Dolan. We have Jim Alverson from Alverson Transmission, driving, I believe it's a 66, 65 Chevy Impala. Here's Jim and Lee Capriva from Capriva Angus at Raymond. Next we have Darren Leach driving a 1930 Model A Ford. The car is owned by Ralph and Carol Hurlbut.
Sure. Terry, did you get 2 books or 1 book?
I just got both.
Both? Okay, that's a 2 book we're going to want.
Here's Jerry Nutbrock from Dakota 17 and Dakota 10 LLC, producers of Superior ISO Wings. Here's in the JV Canale Farms, Vince Canale. This tractor is driven by Brittany Hink. It is a 1947 Ferguson tractor. I believe this tractor was bought new by Ed. The riders are Courtney, Caitlin, and Chastity Lewis. And the Calf Farm Starburst. The Farm Calf Starburst. Here's number 22 is another one from JV Canale Farms. This tractor is driven by Jerry Hink. It's a 1949 McCormick M. Here's another tractor from Vince Canale. I bet if you go up in Vince's backyard, there's a hole where he dug up a cream can full of money to buy this deal. From Vince Canale, it's driven by Roger Hink and his wife. This is the obituary from Ron Bowrick at Condé. It's a 350 high-performance Chevy engine with an automatic transmission and a 44 Massey. We'll race you to the graveyard. That's neat. That's really neat. Here's Farman Closter and Lauren. It's a 1966 Willis CJ5 Jeep. The original owner was her uncle, Irvin Closter. Next is Glenn Hankey with a 1960 John Deere Model 840 Scraper. Glenn's got numerous tractors and he's restored up north and east of town. Here's Terry Fuller driving a 1951 8N. This tractor has been in the Fuller family all its life. Leonard Fuller was the original owner. It was purchased from Olson's Motors in Clark. And it's owned by Terry, Dick, and Wayne Fuller. They're still on the farm home. Dusty Fuller restored this tractor. Here's Ernie Waldner driving a 1939 John Deere B. This tractor was featured on RFD TV on Max's Tractor Shed in November of 2006. It was restored by Dan Nelson. Next is Bud Dreyer from Dolan. He's driving Ernie Waldner's 1939 John Deere B also. This tractor was purchased from Dean and Dwayne Beimers at their farm sale. It was restored by Dan Nelson. The gentleman driving this 1936 W.C. Ellis is Dan Nelson. He's the one, he does tractor restoring. He's also in charge of the KWAT tractor parade that's going to run from Watertown to Clark, South Dakota, August 4th, right? August 4th in the Potato Days parade. These tractors will be on display up here at the tractor show next to the park. Next is Mike Flora. This is the driver. This tractor is owned by Levi Flora. It's a 1950 International H. This tractor was restored by Levi. And behind him is Levi Flory on the Ellis Chalmers. It's a 1953 WD-45. It was restored by Levi. Next we have the Weber Rodeo Company from Timberlake, South Dakota. See, Jeff isn't riding in this. He's down at the Bolorama getting ready for the Bolorama. The Weber Rodeo Company from Timberlake, Jeff and Johnny Weber. I'd like to welcome Jeff back to Raymond, his hometown. Next we got the 1950 Raymond Red Wings. Dwayne Beimers was telling me all about the 1950 Raymond Red Wings yesterday. I said the only difference that 57 years made, in 1950 they dribbled basketball on the floor, now they just dribble in their BVDs. This was the win of the season in the history of the Raymond Red Wings. Their record was 26-2. Said if Jerry Deloise had to miss those free throws, he'd have never lost those games. The 1950 basketball team. Next we have Dennis. Whoops. Next we have the Clown. That's Krausen Company from Watertown.
Dakota Bank. We're here today.
Dakota Bank, we're here for you. Be the Kraus Clown from Dakota Bank in Clark and numerous other locations throughout the state. This is Dennis Johnson driving a Or Jim Johnson driving a 1953 F100 Ford. This pickup was restored by Jim 22 years ago. There's more of the Klaus and Company crew from Watertown. Next is the Dolan Fire Rescue. Steve Nuttall's the driver. The Dolan Fire Rescue from Dr. Fenton coming over. Here's Jim Green from Clark driving a 1959 John Deere 630. This tractor was restored by Jim. It's a 1959 John Deere 630. This is from Farmers Union Insurance, the Dennis Boyd Agency in Dolan. Can't think of a better way to celebrate Raymond's 125th than with a mug of ice-cold beer. Congratulations, Raymond, from Denny, Bonnie, Deb, and Mark, and all the crew from the Boyd Agency in Dolan. Oh, Bonnie. Here we have a 1939 H. Drivers Dale Peterson and a 1937 B. These tractors are owned by Roger Janker. Thanks for coming to Raymond, Roger. Here's a tough-looking crew coming. That's just because the one in the back seat on this side used to be my school teacher. Here's the class of 1942. It's Mustang driven by Lee Hurlbut. It's a 2001 Mustang, and this is Lois Benicus, Wanda Dolores, and Meryl Hurlbut. I can talk about my teacher now. She can't cuff me. Here's the class of 1943. Pat Pye and Connie Ortberg. Here's Nutbrock Haynes. Jerry says this bale of hay is for sale. It's a 4010 John Deere. He's been putting up hay in the Raymond vicinity and other places for over 25 years. Big round bales and square bales. Here's Barry Gronke in a 1976 Pontiac Trans Am. This car was bought for their 25th wedding anniversary. We just celebrated 30 years. I took my wife down to the Time Out in Clark for buck burgers. This is number 47. The driver is Lori Hink. The owner is Ralph and Carol Hobart. It's a 1950 Ford. Here's Teddy Melberg driving a 1952 H International. This tractor was restored and painted with Ted and helped his brother Gerald. Here's NTA. It's a 2003 Kenworth P1600. Pulling a refrigerator car. This might be the most popular van in Raymond this weekend. That's where all the beer is stored, right there. Craig and his dad, Ronnie, driving that. Once again, our parade chairman is right down in front of the stand right now, Don Rush. And also one of the committee members is Florence Hink. They put a lot of work. I think a big round of applause should be given to those two people. They went through a lot of time and work to put on this parade for this Raymond 125th Centennial celebration. Here's the Henry Fire Department. Says, please come see us in Henry for 125th on July 6th and 7th. Tom Brendan and who's over there? Randy Hartley. Randy Cost. Sure, come to Henry. Here is Charlie Rupke from Rupke Farms, established 40 years ago. Charlie Rupke. This is Jane Coates. And behind them is her nephews and brother, Casey, Eric, Steve Melberg are riding the horse. The Melberg family and Jacob Severson. Jane Coates, 125th from the Melberg family. Eleanor and Clarence's kids. Here's the Willow Lake Legion, post 113. Arlo Sable and Paul Knott. We sure like to thank all the neighboring towns coming to help Raymond with their celebration. Here's the Clark County Courthouse crew. The riders in the back are the commissioners, Dick Franks, Gene Furness, and Francis Haas. Francis Haas, known as the old Logan Arrow. His grandfather was Bobby Ludwig, constable of Raymond for a good many years. Furness, it's good to get over here and all this good land, isn't it? Next is Millbrook Farms from south of Raymond. 6 generations farming in the Raymond community. Russ Philbrook and his family. Six generations of farming in the Raymond community. Next we have his Uncle Ralph. This is a middle 1920s Model T Ford. Ralph Philbrook lives right down on the end of Main Street. Next we have Jennifer and Jacqueline Philbrook riding their side-by-side bicycle. I think that's Ralph and Carol's. You see them come down for coffee. Carol's doing all the pedaling, and Ralph's just waving at everybody in the crowd. You know? Not that Raymond's too crowded during the week. Next we have Dave Putnam driving a 1966 424 International. It's from the class of 1958. He's got a bed in the back of that. It looks like he did the same thing in school as I did. Slept most of the time. This is Glenn Hagan from Webster on a 1946 John Deere B. Glenn Hagan from Webster. Thanks for coming down, Glenn. Tim Melberg is the owner of this 1946 M Farmall. That's the Carlson family. The Carlson family. This tractor is driven by Fred Rosenau. Here's Beth Severs coming through as the clown. Beth Severs. Here's Mike Delory's grandson. Excuse me, Mike Delory's, Jerry Delory's grandson, driving a 1971 Chevelle.
On the speaker today, we got Terry Clay.
Here's the Raymond Fire Department, Randy Reese, and who's on the other side?
Joe Lambert.
Joe Lambert. Joe Lambert.
Joe Lambert, and the Raymond Fire Department. Next we have the Willow Lake Fire Department. Looks like they sprung a leak up front. The Willow Lake Fire Department. This is a 1947 Oliver Rowcrop 77. The owner is Levi Flory and is driven by his son, Kirk Flora. A 1947 77 Oliver. Now we have John Waldner driving a 1942 H Farmall. John and his nephew restored this with some help from Gerald Melberg. Tim Olson's driving this, representing the James Valley Threshing Association. This is a 1928 Chevy truck from Andover, South Dakota. Their show at Andover is September 7th, 8th, and 9th. They put on a real good show up at Andover. Next we have Lawrence Patno and Everett Hansen representing the Clark Lions Club. They do a lot of good community work around the Clark County and surrounding areas. We'd like to thank them for coming over. Here's Kim Workentine from Willow Lake driving a 1953 Oliver 88. Whoops, wrong one. Here's Austin Swanhorse driving a 1942 Oliver 70 row crop. It's pulling an Oliver Superior 44T corn planter. Yeah, that's one of the first no-till planters, I believe. Here's ITC Telecommunications. ITC Telecommunications. There's the Raymond Presbyterian Church. Church is open today from 9 to 4. Here's Alan Albright driving a 1941 International H. That's followed by Mike McGilvery on a 1948 W6 International. This is Jim Felderman from Dolan, South Dakota, driving a 1955 Chevy Bel Air. Jim has got quite a few cars he's restored over there. Here's his dad, Bob Felderman, driving a 1959 Ford Skyliner with a retractable hardtop. Here's Brad Bixler from Hitchcock, driving a 1940 Ford Coupe. Hello, Brad. Terry Schlegel Auctioneering and FSL Auction Company. These are my nieces and great nieces from Oregon. Drove all the way from Oregon to Raymond, South Dakota to help celebrate the 125th birthday. Well, I guess two of them are from Nevada. Next we have Milo Richter. With a 1924 International truck, Milo Richter in the back. A 1924 International truck. The Valley Edge Ranch Rodeo. Everybody remembers Bill and Mavis Euchre putting that on. The horses and wagon are owned by Charles and Pat Walker. And riding in there are family members of Bill and Mavis. I think that's Jolene, her grandson. Boy, Jolene, this is the chestiest I've ever seen you in Raymond. There's the Clark Horsemen's Club. There's 15 riders from the Clark Horsemen's Club. They put on the Little Britches Rodeo. They also put on the Clark County 4-H Rodeo. And they have barrel racings and they've had bull-a-ramas there. I'd like to thank those people for coming over. The 4-H Rodeo, I believe, is July 30th in Clark. Here's Wigman Oil Company, a 1972 International pickup. Believe it or not, they bought this pickup from Wigman International in Raymond in 1972. I think they just probably took it all in inventory, but there's Robert and his daughter and daughter-in-law in the back. Is that close? Oh, mother-in-law. You look a lot different than my mother-in-law.
We're out of order, Jerry. Don't worry about it. Information's out there.
Here's Harold and Mary Hurlbut from Hurlbut Seed Cleanings and Sales. It was established in 1972 and Diamond H Angus. That Angus cattle up there for over 75 plus years, driven by Bruce Schmidt. The Raymond Fire Department, driven by Peter McGraw. No fire too big or too small for the Raymond Fire Department. You come and they'll call. They have yet to lose a basement. Kids and Critters Ranch from Leola. Mike Wolf's the driver. With Justice Shelby Ashland and riding the ponies. Here's Jared Helkin driving the Corner Grocery. Jared's mother runs Raymond's Mini Mall in Raymond, South Dakota. It says announcer read sign. You got to get by me first. The Corner Grocery Cafe. It says enjoy a cold beer with your burger. Everybody loves Raymond. Here's some Aberdeen livestock. From Aberdeen livestock, Kevin and the boys. There's Dreamy Taylor, Arvin Taylor. Well, remember Tom Bowles used to come to the Valley Edge Show Deal. That's his wife riding in the back seat with Arvin and his boy and grandsons driving the wagon. This is Everybody Loves Raymond from Greg Stormo. Skyline Oldsmobile. What year is that? A 1963 Skyline Oldsmobile. That's Howard Seaver's old car.
No wonder he couldn't get the papers up. He's in the car.
There's the Mustang, the Ford Mustang. Timmy Melberg sitting in there and he forgot to write down on your sheet, Tim. From the Crocker Saddle Club. Colonel Dick Anderson from the Sportsman's Bar carrying the American flag. Bobby Linneman with the South Dakota flag. Joe Linneman carrying the Crocker Saddle Club flag. Here's Colonel Dick Auction Service from Crocker. From Colonel Dick, the Colonel System in Crocker, South Dakota. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause for all the participants. The senior class, the junior senior class is serving pie and ice cream over here in the corner. There's arts in the park and a flea market. There's a car, motorcycle, and tractor show. There's no entry fee. There's entertainment and karaoke up here at the Freedom Stage all day long. There's a horseshoe tournament at 1 o'clock. The kiddie train rides. There's cow pie bingo. There's a Bullarama up at the north end of Main Street, just west of the school. At 1 o'clock, there's a gate admission. We do need volunteer help for ticket takers up there. And the street dance starts tonight at 9 o'clock. The pie winners is the first place is Dorothy Hinman with your turtle pie. Second place is Chris Kretschmeyer with a sour cream raisin pie. And in third place is Elma Haas with her lemon cheesecake. So once again, don't forget the Bullarama on the north end of town, starting at 1 o'clock. We've got a wild horse race, a junior cattle riding, mutton busting for kids 7 years and younger, junior bull riding, a wild pig scramble, Mexican poker, and the open bull riding. Hey, for all the time and effort that they put in.
Right up, straight up there.
Three, two, one.
Find a spot.
easy through the tractors, then turn around, come back through. I say nice and easy since you don't want to lose me. Taking you back? You should. You got how much weight on the back of this? don't speak to horses. So I have my feet kind of hanging off here. I really don't feel like catching it on somebody's bumper, so watch out. Like right there.
Getting the chute loaded, we got bow riders up.
Smile, because you're all getting filmed. You're all on film. You're all on film. You're all on film.
Mountain pretty brown.
Smile, this is for the film. You're all on film.
Song side by side. We don't know what's coming tomorrow. Maybe it's trouble and sorrow. Travel the road, sharing our load, side by side. Through all kinds of weather. Oh, what if the sky should fall? Just as long as it really doesn't matter at all. When they've all had their troubles and parted, we'll be the same as we started, traveling along, singing a song, side by side. Oh, we ain't got a barrel of money, maybe we're ragged and funny, travel along, singing a song, side by side. We don't know what's coming tomorrow, maybe it's trouble and sorrow. We'll travel the road, sharing our load, side by side. Through all kinds of weather. As long as we're together, hey, it really doesn't matter at all. When they've all had their troubles and parted, we'll be the same as we started, traveling along, singing our song, side by side. Yeah, thank you. Side by side. That'll bring back some memories. And of course nowadays a lot of husbands and wives work side by side too, but not near as many as did back in the 30s and the early 20s. Anyway, this next song is a song about a pretty lady that this fellow kind of got an eye for. So this little song might kind of say it all. He's kind of stuck on her, and so this is what he said. Oh,